Hi, friends. I'm Scott Giles, minister hypnotist and the guy who shows you how to get help from the other side. The other side being the mental and spiritual worlds, which you access through your unconscious mind, which is the greatest goal-achieving mechanism ever evolved. You don't have to stay stuck or ill or be unhappy, because there is a power that can help. Well, today I want to talk about chronically negative people. In Monty Python's classic 1979 movie, The Life of Brian, there's a crucifixion scene. Brian kind of has some of the same aspects of Jesus of Nazareth and is being confused for Jesus in the movie. And so they're all being crucified, and people say, hey, don't look on the negative side of life. You've got to look on the bright side of life while they're being crucified. It's meant sarcastically, of course, but the lyrics of the various crucified people sing are, always look on the bright side of life, always look on the light side of life. If life seems jolly rotten, there's something you've forgotten. That's to laugh and smile and dance and sing. When you're feeling in the dumps, don't be silly chumps. Just purse your lips and whistle. That's the thing. The scene in the movie is hilarious, but it's a reminder, I think, that telling someone to look on the bright side of life when they're feeling bad is an impulse that comes from a good place, but it's a bad idea because it can often make the person you're talking to feel even worse. Telling people, oh, don't be so negative, be positive, can create shame and embarrassment. In fact, some therapists are talking about toxic positivity. When you're so relentlessly positive, you try to believe away the fact that trouble is a part of being alive and that life is difficult. So when someone has been moping around and you come at them with advice that is 180 degrees different, it can feel disempowering and discrediting to them. And the reality is that there are times when all of us will feel bad, and there's nothing wrong with that. When we lose someone or something we love, we go into bereavement and we feel bad. And we should. We should miss the people and creatures and things that we really care about. They're not replaceable. And life is unpredictable. All of us will sometimes have to take a punch and just roll with it because we don't have the power to prevent that bad thing from happening to us. Negative experiences and negative emotions are a normal part of life. All that said, everyone has met people who are chronically pessimistic. The comedy TV show Saturday Night Live had a character which debuted in 2004 called Debbie Downer. She was a person who appears at gatherings and always interrupts the conversation with negative opinions and pronouncements. And we all met people like that, someone who is characteristically negative to the point of toxicity. And the reality is that sometimes we can't do anything about that. You can't help a person who doesn't want help. And I've met chronically negative people who clearly are doing what they're doing as a kind of unconscious dominance strategy. They enjoy bringing things to a halt with their negative vibe. And there probably is not a whole lot we can do about that. If the problem is how someone else feels, there's nothing we can do because we don't control how other people feel. Now, some therapists argue that when this happens, we're confronting a person who might be clinically depressed and need encouragement to seek help. And that's, I think, unquestionably true. Depression is sort of the common cold of mental illness, and most of us will have some periods of depression in our life. Now, when encountering such a person, we might nudge indirectly and softly to encourage them to maybe talk to someone. But the reality is that no one who needs help will get it before they're ready. Now, the old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You can give someone helpful advice, but you can't make them take it. But sometimes there are people who are really down and they have an issue that we can address. Because sometimes, in my experience at least, we're dealing with people who have become frustrated and become negative because they believe that that is the only way they can get others to see them. Now, my rule in such cases is to listen with compassion, but not to respond to anything they say negative. Instead, I wait until they say something positive, and then I hop in to reinforce and complement that. There's an old principle: whatever you reinforce, you will get more of. So I only reinforce the positive. If someone's dumping negativity on me and I engage with them about that, I'm reinforcing it. I'm reinforcing it if I agree with them that it's bad, or I'm reinforcing it if I try to contradict them and point out positive things they're not seeing. I'm still reinforcing. They're getting a rise out of me. The way you extinguish something is to go neutral, to not reinforce the negative, but to reinforce the positive. And that can have the effect of shaping the attitude of a chronically negative person in a helpful direction. And it shows them a better way to be seen by others than by making yourself stand out, by becoming a kind of Debbie Downer. Hey, thank you for your time and attention today. I'll be back next week with another talk on a different subject. If you're wondering if I can be of help to you, consider working directly with me. We can work in person or online. Feel free to reach out through my website for a complimentary, no-obligation discovery call, and always use the full power of your mind, because you deserve it.